All right, today we have this shovelhead frame we're gonna hardtail. So I've got everything set up on the jig right now where I want it. I've got it to where the neck rake and everything's set to where I can just at least bolt onto the neck there to hold the frame still. Got the axle plate tower set where it's gonna be. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pull this off of the frame jig and just take it over here and put it on the table so I can kind of flip this thing upside down, because first of all, we need to get the back half of this frame off. So I kind of like to go about that kind of quick and get just the bulk of it off. Then we'll throw it back on the jig here and slowly work away at some of these welds here on the backbone, because we're gonna be saving this backbone. So I like to kind of take my time and cut these welds nice and slow so that way we don't gouge the original frame too much, and get that stuff out of the way. And then we can move on to bending up tubing for the back half. There we go, the back half's off. But down here on the bottom where we've cut these castings, this is gonna be hard to grind and smooth while it's setting on the frame jig. So let's go ahead and get a green disc on the angle grinder, kind of clean these up, because that's what we're gonna be welding the bottom rails to when we do the hardtail. All right, now we got that ground off. I'm gonna bolt it back up to the frame jig here just to hold it steady. Let's work on getting these seat rails cut off. Take some time doing that, because that'll just help us with cleanup in the end and make nice clean welds and a nice clean area once it's done. I think I'm gonna throw a toe clamp here on the back, just to keep the back from moving around. In case you don't know what a toe clamp is, check this out. Maybe you've never seen a toe clamp. It's an angled block with little serrated teeth in it. Then you have, I guess this is the toe. There's different sizes and different heights. So when you put this on something, put it on a piece of metal you're trying to hold down, then you can adjust it here on the teeth. Then when you tighten it down, this will put pressure on your part you're working on. Still got some cleanup to do. Got into the background a little bit there, but we'll just have to weld that up some and clean it up. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get in there without making yourself a little bit of extra work, but not too bad. Now we got to clean up a little bit on this. See how there's still weld left, and then I've gouged into it a little bit here and there. So we're going to grind that down, put some weld on that, and make this tubing really nice and round again before we go any further. All right, now that we have it all cleaned up, that paint reminds me of a bedazzled fingernail. Anyways, it's not as bad as I thought. I did gouge it a little bit, but I think realistically when we bend up the frame rails to put on there, I'm betting that we're gonna cover that right back up and weld right over top of that. And you should not be able to see that any of this ever happened. So we'll clean up a little paint around this gusset here because our frame rails will come right down, touch off on that seat bracket, and come right back to axle plates. So now that the back half is off, time to start bending tubing and moving on to the fun stuff.